I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at a slash solo, but we're going to be doing it a little bit different. I'm tuned standard. Normally slash would 2.5 step down. And what I'm going to be doing here is showing you how to play an excerpt from Sweet Child of Mine, not because it's my most favorite song on the planet or anything like that, but it's really, really cool if you've been learning like your caged system or your major scale stuff. What we're going to do is not only look at the solo, but we're going to look at how it actually kind of works. So let me play this for you quick, okay? This is the part we're going to be looking at here. Now, when it comes to Slash, you know, there are times when he plays, he's just all over the place doing his thing. And then there are times he plays that he's very, very melodic. And that's why I wanted to show you a little bit about this particular solo, because he kind of does all the right things, you know. So the chord progression that's happening here is D, then C, and then G, and then back to D. In whatever fashion you like to play your chords. It doesn't matter, power chord, bar chord, open, doesn't matter. But that's what we're doing. So when the solo starts, it's on a D chord. Now, I'm playing it down here. You may have played it in other positions before. You might have played it up here and all that sort of thing, and it's perfectly fine. I wanted to play it in this position to show you kind of what's going on here, and then you can play it anywhere you want on the fretboard, but we want to break it apart a little bit. So if you want the tablature or the jam track, you're going to go to igpa.org/wickedlick/27. This is lick number 27. And you'll be able to get the PDF or the Guitar Pro or the jam track or whatever you want. So let's just take a look at this for a second. If we were looking at D as being here, we can see that when Slash plays, he's just heading down to one of the notes of this D chord that's sitting right here. What I like to do a lot when I teach is not only teach you how to play licks, but teach you kind of the understanding of what's actually happening there so you can do these sorts of things yourself when you go to solo. So we've got... So both times he does that lick right there, he's going to a D chord. Of course, then the rhythm goes to C, so what he does is goes... And right there he's going to, well, I'm going to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, which is part of a C chord. Okay, and then he comes off that and goes, now this is my favorite part. And then he does this thing, little half step on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and then he goes to the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then he goes back to that 7 and bends it up a half step. And then he goes to the 10 of the 1st string. He holds that up there half step, plays that 10, then goes back to the 7 and releases it. Now, when he bends it, he's creating an 8 on the 2nd string right here, okay, which is G, which is off the D chord, is the sus. So when he bends that note up, it's really cool because he's actually making this. And then it's going back. So again, in this position, you can see when he goes, he's just outlining a D chord there, and then he bends this up a half step to become that G. That note's kind of irrelevant, but then we go back, and then he brings it back down, and it becomes part of that chord again, which is pretty cool. Okay, then he goes back and reaffirms that melody, but then he keeps on. And then right here, again, he's making what looks to be a G major arpeggio over the D chord. Then he ends with a 17 bend on the 2nd string, and then a 17. He holds that up and plays 17 on the first string. Okay? So the first thing I want you to think about in this, because again, you're going to get the tablature and you can learn all the tab, and if you'd rather play it in a different position, you can download the tab from Ultimate Guitar or whatever, and it's perfectly fine. But what I want you to think about here is how he's constructing this solo, right? There's two things he's thinking about. He's thinking about melody, and the way he's thinking about it is by being directional. Every time a chord comes up, he's aware of the D or the C or the G, and he's responding to it by emphasizing notes that fit within that chord. The second thing is that he's creating a motif, which is like a repetitive idea. He's got this... Okay? Even in the first solo, which I'm skipping, we hear him do that the whole time. He's doing this. So the ear picks up on it just like it's a vocal melody, right? So that's the second thing he's got. And the third thing really is the rhythm. Okay, that would be the other thing, is his use of phrasing would be the three things. I said two, but there's really three things that are most important in here. So again, I don't care where you play it. What I would love for you to be able to do as a guitar player is not just play 15s and 17s and 18s and all that sort of thing. There's nothing wrong with that if you're just looking to learn how to play something. But if you really want to get to the meat and potatoes of whatever it is that you're learning and use it yourself, you've got to break it apart and make it make some sense to you. Okay? So that's what I want you to think about. So right here, we're targeting that D. Here we're targeting C. Here we're targeting G. He's just playing that 10 and 8, and the 8 fits into the D chord. That's your G. And then it goes back to D, and he does his... There's his sus, and then he brings it down, and it becomes part of the D chord again. Okay? So it becomes your third of your chord. And then he goes back to the melody again, but then he takes off. Right there, that fits over the C chord. And then, sorry, that's over G. He goes, which makes perfect sense because that's a G arpeggio. So he's doing that over G. Then he goes back to the D chord and he goes, and he ends with that thing, which is the bottom of a D chord. Okay? So again, I can't make this too long because then all of a sudden it's getting too long for the purpose of what we're doing here, but hopefully that helps you a little bit in breaking it down so you can see and you can go, oh, okay, I was wrong, that wasn't over D, it was G. Like that. You know, even if you took that idea and just used it in your own playing. So if you were using pentatonic, but then you could go and do something as simple as that, all of a sudden it sounds really neat, you see? Or if you could do, or even just that half-step bend over a D chord, that would be something. So you don't have to use the entire solo when you're playing. It's picking out the best little parts and making something cool with it. So take care, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again tomorrow, okay? Hi there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I certainly hope that it helped you a little bit. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a huge favor and either like it, subscribe to the channel, share it, or comment on it. Okay, that's going to help us out enormously. And then we can keep in contact with you when we have new material that comes out. And if you enjoyed the video, we've got some other videos over here that you can watch that might be able to help you on your guitar journey as well. And if you look up on the top there, you're going to see there's a little eye up there. If you click on that, we are going to be giving you a free gift just to say thank you for watching the video. And then if you'd like to follow us on social media, you can use the term @GuitarZoom and you can find us there. All right? So take care, keep practicing, and have a great day.